One thing that can be kind of complicated is uploading a paper onto Blackboard. Sometimes people have trouble with this, and sometimes it's a bit confusing how it works. So I wanted to make a video that just kind of explains it. I'm using my History 380 Introduction to Public History class as an example, but what I'm going to tell you here should basically apply to any class that I'm teaching. But basically, you start off by going to the Blackboard site for that class, and somewhere there will probably be a folder marked assignments or something like that. And that's the folder you would want to go to find the link to upload your paper. And once you click on that assignments link, a lot of times what will pop up is a bunch of assignments. If there's multiple assignments, then you'll want to check your schedule to make sure that you're doing the correct one. But in this case, we're going to practice doing the Museum Project Report 1. Right, you can see that on that list of assignments. And you'll notice that it is pointing, there's an arrow pointing to something that says Attached Files, Museum Project Report 1, docx. And a lot of times when I want you to do an assignment, I actually have a worksheet that I want you to do the assignment on. Right, so I want you to actually fill out a worksheet that has questions on it. So you need to actually download that worksheet. And that link there, the Museum Project Report 1 docx, that the attached file, that's the worksheet. And if you were to click on that, it would ask if you want to open the file, and you say yes, and then you would see this file, and it says Museum Project Report 1. And then it says answer the following questions, and then you have these questions. And you would just type in your answers to this worksheet. And one thing, if I ask questions, if you had this kind of worksheet, please do not delete the questions. Write your answers under the questions. Do not delete the questions. It makes it very difficult to read, and typically I actually have a penalty for people who delete the questions. Please do not delete the questions. It just makes it a lot more difficult for me to grade. It's not really necessary. So please put your answers under the questions. Now, once you have fulfilled that assignment, once you have completed it, and this can be days after you actually, downloaded the worksheet or whatever it was that you have to write it on. There's no time limit there except for what's in the schedule, so it's not like a quiz where you have like 5 minutes once you click on the link to do it. You have whatever time is left before the due date listed in the schedule. But once you have properly filled out that assignment and then saved it and you're ready to submit it, you would go back into that assignments folder, and then you would click on the link, the upper part there, and it says Museum Project Report 1. It's got the arrow pointing at it. That's what you would click on in order to upload the assignment. And so having clicked on that, you'll see a screen like this, and it tells you the due date for the assignment, the points possible. You will need to attach the file then, right? And you can see there's an arrow pointing at Browse My Computer, right? So you need to be on a computer where you have your file saved. And this is a key point that a lot of people make a mistake on. Like they try and browse their computer and then select a link or something like that. But you actually need to save the file to the computer. Then you browse My Computer and you go to wherever that file is. Right, so you need to be able to access the file, and this is the big mistake students make, is that they'll try and attach some kind of link or some kind of weird file, and it just won't work. So you would click on Browse My Computer. So once you have clicked on the Browse My Computer, you'll see a box like this, and this is how you will select the file. Now, sometimes what happens is people will select the wrong file. Sometimes it's the wrong file format. Sometimes it's just the worksheet but not the filled out version. Sometimes it's an assignment for another class. So let's say that that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a mistake this time, and I'm not going to upload the right file. I'm going to upload a file, and it's going to be a docx file. It's a file called Base Blackboard Quiz. So I'm uploading that, and I'm purposely uploading the incorrect file. That is not a file that I need to upload. That is not the correct filled out response worksheet. That's something completely different, but I'm simulating making the mistake of uploading the wrong file. So there you can see that there is an arrow that is pointing on the kind of middle left that is pointing to the file. It says Base Blackboard Quiz. That's the file that's going to be uploaded, right? And if you look on the bottom right, there's a arrow that's pointing to the submit button. So I would check to make sure that I'm uploading the correct file, and then once it is correct, I know I've checked it, I'm going to click submit. But let's say again, I'm not being careful here, I don't double check my file, and so even though it says base Blackboard quiz and it has nothing to do with the response worksheet, I'm just going to click submit anyway. Now, once I do that and click the submit button, it should take me to this page where I can actually see my assignment, right? So it'll show me that it is uploaded properly and I can read it. And you can see it right there. Now, if you can just see it says 1 ABCD, 2 ABCD. That's just the file that I use to make Blackboard quizzes. I fill in the answers and so forth later on. And like I said, I use that to show what happens when you upload the wrong assignment. But I got that preview. I saw that I uploaded the wrong assignment, but I'm just going to ignore it and submit it anyway, right? So, but what's key, I want to show you this. It will preview your assignment, and if you cannot read your assignment, if your assignment does not show up, then I can't read it and grade it either, right? That's a key thing that I have to emphasize, right? Once you submit your assignment, it will bring you to this screen that will allow you to review your submission. And if it says something like cannot download or something like that, if you can't see it, I can't see it either. And I cannot grade assignments that I can't see. And if there's no grade, I mean, eventually it'll just become a 0. So you want to make sure that you can see it in the preview. If you cannot, then please contact me, right? Then please contact me. But I need to stress, people will sometimes then email me their assignments because for some reason it won't work here. And I will accept that insofar as I won't give you a late assignment, but I will not grade a late penalty, but I will not grade things until they're uploaded properly in Blackboard. Everything's got to be in the same place, otherwise it might get lost and it just causes a lot of problems. So if for some reason it doesn't show up in the preview, if you can't see your assignment, please let me know, and also double check it to make sure that you're actually uploading the right assignment. I've had students upload incorrect assignments before because of this. So like I said, you want to be careful about that. Notice the other arrow on the right, it says attempt late. Again, I purposely upload an assignment that's going to be connected as late. Usually I have it set so that I will, so that the computer will still let you upload late assignments, but you may suffer late penalty. And sometimes the late penalty will make your paper a 0. It just depends on the class. So check the syllabus. If you're not sure, just ask me. But like I said, here I've uploaded the wrong assignment, but I'm not going to note it. I'm just going to say, hey, I uploaded the wrong assignment. I don't care. So now it's been a few days since I submitted my assignment. I went to class and the professor said, hey, I've graded all the assignments. Please check Blackboard and you can see your grade. I'm all excited to see my grade. So the professor also says, you know, I also added comments so you could understand your grade. So I'm excited. I want to see what, you know, how I did on my assignment, what the professor said. And I go back to Blackboard, and what I do is I click on the assignment link again, right? I click on the assignment link again. That's going to let me see my comments. And that's very important, right? If I tell you that you need to look at your comments for some reason, you want to go back and check those comments. And of course, if you're just curious why you got the grade you did, and sometimes it's not negative. Sometimes it just said, hey, this is a great paper. So we're going to click on that link. And wow, I thought I did really well in that paper. But if you look on the right where the arrows point down, I got a 0 out of 25. I did a terrible job. I mean, I thought I'd lose some points for being late, but whoa, I got a 0. Why did I get a 0? Well, professors have 2 ways to tell you how you did and why in Blackboard. If you look to the right, on the bottom right, you'll see there's an arrow pointing up, and you can see where it says feedback to learner, and I typed in, is this the right file? Please see my comment. Right, so that's in that box on the right, that's where I can add general comments, and I can just talk about your paper and how well you did or so forth. Sometimes I'll just say great job, or sometimes I'll say, you know, there's some problems to this paper, please see my comments, or please see my comment. And if you look on the left side, you see there's an arrow pointing to the left, and it's pointed like a little blue word bubble. And that's where I can add comments directly onto your paper. And I'll do that sometimes because I need to make specific comments about particular parts of the paper. And that little bubble allows me to highlight or mark specific parts of the text so you can see very easily exactly what I'm talking about. Right, so if I say on the right side comments, I say there's a lot of unclear sentences, I might actually mark some of the unclear sentences with that little blue box. So let's click on that box and see what happens. And there you can just say, it says there is no content, did you upload the wrong file? And that's what happens when you click that. It gives you more information. And indeed, I did upload the wrong file, so I need to contact the professor and say, oh my gosh, you know, I messed up. And there'll probably be a late penalty or something for doing that. But in general, depending on the circumstances, I might accept a new paper. But that's just to give you an example of a common problem that happens where people will upload the wrong file and so forth. So just keep that in mind. And so that's how you upload a Blackboard paper. If you should have trouble in the process, please let me know. One thing, like I said, that people often do is that they will try and upload like a link, and you can't do that. Like they'll try and upload like a Google Drives link or something like that. You need to make sure that you save your paper to like the desktop or specific folder of a computer that you're working on. When you do that, then it should work just fine, right? And if you're having trouble, you might have to just go to like a LAN or a computer, download your file off of Google Drive or wherever you have it onto that computer, and then upload it from there. But as with all things, if you have trouble, please let me know.